Hi fans, and welcome to this 2013 Week 1 edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. The Wolverines open the season against the Upper St. Clair Panthers in a pivotal Southeast Conference matchup. We're going to sit down with Woodland Hills head coach George Novak, and we're also going to let you see highlights of the 2012 season. All of that and more right here on the pregame show on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Shotgun formation. McClellan is back to pass, surveys the field, looks left for Tom Green. Green leaps, catches that football. And it is a completed pass from Cody McClellan to Tom Green, and he slides through two Tiger tacklers. And there it is, Bruce Curry again. And it is a 16-yard touchdown pass from Cody McClellan to Tom Green. Motion man from left to right for the Tigers. Key is hit hard. McClellan is back to pass, looks left, throws left, has a receiver open in the end zone, and it is a touchdown. Cody off of play action. It's another screen, this time to Daquan White, and he's got all kind of room in front of him. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, end zone touchdown.
McClellan in the shotgun. Back to pass, he rolls to his right. Pumps and throws. Green is wide open. And it's a Woodland Hills TD.
Handoff this time to Harry Randall, and he is off to the races. 35-30, 25-20, and brought down along the near boundary. Sidecars to either side. Cody back to pass, rolls right, throws right. Looking for a Woodland Hills receiver, Chris David. This time the Blackhawks look to go to the ground. The ball comes loose. Harry Randall picks it up, and he's going to go to the house for a Woodland Hills TD. New quarterback in there for Bethel Park, and he will be sacked. Deloach looking left, throwing left, intercepted by Khalil Harper. He has a convoy in front of him, stepping forward inside of the 10, and Khalil Harper for the Wolverines is brought down. He will hand off, and the ball carrier is the freshman Miles Sanders, and he is off to the races. 10-5, end zone, and Miles Sanders with his first touchdown. Pass to the near sideline, intercepted. Deshaun Osbrooks gathers himself and will go into the end zone. Shotgun for McClellan. Looks left, throws left, complete to Harry Randall. Eludes a tackler, and he's off to the races down this near boundary. He has one man to beat, and he able to slide through that tackle. And down near sideline, he makes another move at the 20, and Harry Randall is into the end zone. Deloach is back to pass out of the shotgun. He's pressured, hit, and brought down. Deloach is back to pass, and he is sandwiched. Coach who moved on to be an assistant at University of Pittsburgh, and oh my goodness, what a hit! High snap, Harry Randall's gonna take off running, he's got a lot of room. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, Harry Randall dancing to the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. McClellan in the shotgun, looks to his right the whole time, feels pressure, throws it into the end zone, and a nice adjustment by Harry Randall. Handoff will go to Harry Randall, has a hole inside of the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, end zone touchdown, Woodland Hills. Roth rolls to his right, blocking the back there by Mount Lebo, but instead it'll be an interception. Back to pass is McClellan. He surveys the field, throws it to the far corner of the end zone. Tom Green catches it, and it's a Woodland Hills touchdown. Looks left the whole way. He's hit hard from behind, though. He'll hand off to Alex Beasley. Beasley over left tackle, rumbles his way forward and into the end zone. It's 2nd and 10 from the 10. Roth is pressured. He's hit. The ball comes loose. The Wolverines have it. No, the official is going to say it's an incomplete pass. Back deep to return for the Wolverines is Khalil Harper, but the punt is blocked by Woodland Hills. Snap a little high. McClellan able to gather it in, look to his left and find his favorite target wide open. The sidecar to his right-hand side. He'll work off the play action. The southpaw looks to his left-hand side, and it's intercepted by Tom Green. Green slips through one tackler, brings it down the near sideline, and is spun out of bounds. Handoff. Sanders has a hole. Big yardage. 35-30, 25-20, 15-10-5 end zone. Touchdown, Miles Sanders. McClellan hands off. Alex Beasley off to the races. He gathers his balance, 50-45, and tries to cut back. Cody McClellan drops back, surveys the field, looks left, throws left, has Chris David open, and Chris David into the end zone. Brown runs to his right, thought about passing, now hesitates, throws, the ball goes sky high, and it's intercepted. Running down that far side is Salam Magna. And Cody McClellan will carry it himself. He runs down the far sideline and into the end zone. Back to pass and sacked. Back to pass goes McClellan, looks right, throws right, has Tom Green with a step, and Tom Green catches the football. The handoff will go to Alex Beasley, and he's got room and a crease. Across the 50, 45, 40, 35, and inside of that 35-yard line, and the big fullback was rumbling. Owen rolls to his left, throws, the pass, tipped, and intercepted. The Wolverines have it. It's Trayvon Mathis, sidesteps a man, and he'll be spun down. Hard count by McClellan. He'll hand off. Miles Sanders, nice vision, inside the 10, around the corner and into the end zone. Back to pass, McClellan, screen pass, complete to Sanders. He's got a ton of room down that far sideline. Brings it back inside, gathers his balance, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Second touchdown of the day for Miles Sanders. All the way straight drop back, it's a screen pass. The Wolverines read it. Dante Broadus read that screen pass beautifully. The line to gain is the 30. McClellan will roll to his left. He will throw to his left. He has a receiver, and that receiver makes the catch. Kistner for Penn Hills. Holloway looks, throws, intercepted. Chris David has the football inside of the 40, sidesteps a man, 35, 30, and brought down at the 28-yard line. The snap true, the hold down. The kick by Potter is up, and that kick is good. Begs the handoff, now hands off instead to Miles Sanders. He's across the 40, 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, and spun out of bounds. Johnson straight drop back, looks right, throws right. He looks to throw it deep. It'll be intercepted by Tom Green. Snap a bit low, but McClellan gathers it in. Feels some pressure from his left, throws it straight down the middle, and it will be caught by Ryan Welsh. Nice snap, good hold. The kick up, and that kick, that'd have been good from 55-39. End around for Harper. Has some blockers over to that far boundary. Khalil Harper cuts it back to the inside of the 50, 45, 40, blocks down that far sideline, 30, 25, 20, and forced out of bounds. Low snap, handoff, Sanders, he's got a lot of room again, inside of the 20, 15, 10, 5, end zone touchdown. Delayed handoff, no, it's a play action, and it's a screen, and Sanders is open inside of the 40, 35, 30, still on his feet, 25, and down to the 24-yard line. Handoff, Franklin, he lost the football, it's loose, it's still loose, the Wolverines got it back! Woodson, back to pass, he'll be wrapped, he'll be sacked by Malik Partlow! Low snap, Woodson stumbles back, now steps up, throws deep. Jump ball, intercepted! And Woodland Hills advances to the WPIAL semifinals. Offset I backfield, and the handoff will go to the tailback. Nothing doing there, Jawan Turner, the best defensive end in the WPIAL. And the handoff will go to the tailback. That is Steve Makowick, and Makowick loses the football. The Wolverines pick it up, 45-40. On the recovery, it is Chris David inside of the 30 to the 29. The handoff will go this time to number 30 and into the end zone. He will go for a 25-yard touchdown run. Wolverines go to the air again. The pass to the near side. It's Khalil Harper, and he will go to the end zone for a Woodland Hills touchdown. He'll work off of play action. Coughlin straight drop back, late pressure, and the pass is intercepted. A nice break on the football by Tom Green down the far boundary. He will go, and he'll be forced out of bounds. McClellan, straight drop back, throwing across the middle. Tom Green is there, catches it. Tom Green on a foot race. 40, 35, 30, 25, sidestep to man 20, inside of the 15. With the snap to McClellan, the pass to Tom Green, it's Woodland Hills touchdown. Coughlin straight drop back, looking left, has all kinds of time. Throws instead to Morgan Lee, and it's bobbled and caught. Interception. Coughlin straight drop back. Has some time, steps up, rolls right, late pressure, he'll throw, and it will be intercepted again. Another pick for the Woodland Hills defensive secondary, and off to the races goes Trayvon Mathis for a Woodland Hills touchdown! In the slot to the left. Leftwood keeps the ball, tries to roll to his left, he'll be wrapped and he'll be sacked by Malik Partlow. He read the play beautifully. Handoff will go to Sanders. He'll retreat after bouncing off a wave of black jerseys. Sanders in the far boundary, turns the corner, crosses the 30 and spun down to the left of McClellan. He'll work off a play action, roll to his right, look to his right. You are right, Fred. They go to the short side, and it is a touchdown as McClellan finds Tom Green for the Woody High TD. Handoff will go to Sanders. He can turn the corner. He's got a lot of room. Inside of NA territory, 40, 35, 30, and tripped up. McClellan, hands off. Sanders runs over a Tiger into the end zone for a Woodland Hills touchdown. He'll carry it himself. Leaps over a blocker and then is hit hard. Left, which will take the carry, try to take it over left end, but Kyra McLean brought him down. Straight drop back for Leftwich. He's pressured. He rolls to his right. Steps up. He's hit. He's wrapped, and he is sacked. McClellan rolls to his left with two receivers. Cody feels pressure, now throws it down the middle, and it'll be caught by Tom Green in an open field. 25-20, and brought down at the 17-yard line. Make it 3 to the right of McClellan. He'll step up into the pocket, throws it straight down the middle, has a receiver. It's Miles Sanders inside of the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Hi again, fans, and thank you for joining us for this Week 1 edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. We're now sitting down with Woodland Hills head coach George Novak. And Coach, it was a great season last year. Not a lot expected going into the year, but you made it all the way to Heinz Field.
Yeah, we always expect a lot of the boys, but, we expect them to work hard and to get better through the season, and they did. I give a lot of credit to the young men we had last year. We had a great senior group, great leadership with Alex Beasley and Jawan Turner. And Tom Green came up big for us, and just Jordan Barnes. We had a great group of young men, and they played hard together. I think that was part of it. We had great chemistry, and the young guys worked hard, and they got better as the season went on. And the ball bounced our way. Once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. And we played some good teams, and we were fortunate to beat some good teams and make it to Heinz Field. And we had a shot down there, but came up a little short.
This year it's a little bit of a different story, a lot of high expectations. How different is it going into a season knowing that you're the team to beat?
Well, we always have high expectations, so, we practice just as hard every year the same way, just preparing for whoever we got to play that week. And, it's exciting. I told the boys that the rankings in the beginning of the season don't mean that much. It's the ones at the end that counts. And, here we are, we're ranked high, and Upper St. Clair's ranked high, and we're meeting in the first week.
Well, before we talk about that game, you touched on some senior leadership. Now you've got to replace a lot of leaders. You mentioned Beasley and Turner. How do you replace those kind of guys?
Those are two of the finest young men I've ever coached here at Woodland Hills as far as being leaders, and it showed last year. This year we have a small senior class, only 15 seniors. 12 of them were on the team last year, so it's a different situation. We haven't had too many of these types of senior classes, but we do have some very talented seniors that are coming back, and a number of them started. 2 of them are coming off major injuries. I would say the big thing about the senior class is we have a lot of speed in our senior class.
You touch on those major injuries. Harry Randall, one of those players that received a major injury last season. I understand he just locked down the starting quarterback spot.
Yeah, Harry's, had an ACL done last year, and he just got approved last week to scrimmage live, and then he played in the scrimmage Friday and did very well. He's not 100% yet, but he's getting there. He has to wear a brace. And Chris Davis, the other senior, he started last year at safety and played some receiver. He's back, and he's getting close to 100% too, so hopefully they'll play with a lot of speed on Friday night.
Talking about Randall and David, and you have to throw in Trayvon Mathis there, that's going to be a very potent defensive backfield, also a receiver core as well.
Yeah, both Trayvon and Chris David had great years last year as juniors. They're coming into their senior year very excited. Both of them will receive some interest from Division I schools. Trayvon has a few offers. Harry's one of the best athletes probably in the WPIAL this year. It showed a lot of maturity on the field. Those three are three of the key guys at the skill positions that we're going to have this year.
Let's talk a little bit about the running back position. You've got some talent coming back. Miles Sanders, just a freshman last year, rushed for nearly 800 yards. He should be coming back bigger, stronger, and faster.
Yeah, he's worked very hard. He's just a nice young man, does well in school, quiet leader, but he has a lot of speed. He gained 10 pounds, got a little bit faster. He's running in the 4.4s, and we're excited about him. And he's going to play a little bit of defense this year too. He's helping out at the safety position too.
Taking a look at the front lines, both on offense and defense, a little bit young, but still some experience in there, especially from James Ronnie and a couple other guys.
Yeah, before we get into the line though, we got 2 other backs. Art Tompkins, he came strong at the end of the year, and he's doing great. And he and Miles are the top 2, and Nigel Henderson had a good camp, and he's their 3rd running back. So, they'll all get some action in there. The offensive line, we have 3 starters back. Jimmy Rooney at center. He's the center of that line. He's the foundation. Danny Gibson, arguably one of our best offensive and defensive linemen from last year coming back. And freshman, he'll be a sophomore this year, Wolford Clark. So we have those 3 coming back, and we have Amon Youngblood, or Baldwin Youngblood, coming back, and there's Butch Cassidy, he's in there, and Vic Bilberry. They're all vying for time on that offensive line.
Talk about the defense a little bit more. Linebackers, got some experience coming back there as well, including Osbrooks and Broadus. Yeah,
the defensive side of the ball, we have more experience coming back. We did get a young man moved in from North Carolina, James Eggleston, and he's a big kid, and he's playing on the offensive and defensive lines also, but he's one of those offensive linemen that'll be playing Friday night. He's a big boy, 6'2", 285, and very athletic, shows a lot of potential. Defensively, that's probably where we have the most guys back, in the secondary. Trayvon played there, and Harry played there, and Chris played there. And we have a junior that really had a great summer at camp. Mike Nash did a great job for us. And then Art Tompkins and Miles will be in that secondary. So, we feel strong with the secondary. Got a lot of speed back there. At the linebacker spot, we have Osbrooks. We have Dante Broadus. Of course, we lost Alex Beasley. We have Dejon Bryant, played a little bit last year. Quan Bowden had a great camp, great summer, great camp. He's one of our strongest players. Jordan Lee's coming on strong at linebacker. And that'll be another strong point for us. Defensive line, one of the kids that really played well last year, but is coming on strong, is Akira McLean. Now, he had a hand injury, and we're not sure yet if he's going to play Friday or not, but he's one of our defensive ends. He had a great camp this year, and he had a pin put in his thumb. So if they could, doctor gives him the okay for Thursday, he'll probably be playing on Friday. The other end, Devin Nixon, he had a great year. He's really developed, increased his speed. For a defensive end, he ran a 4.5 40 for us this year. That's great speed for a defensive lineman. Inside we have Kevin Sullivan back from last year and Danny Gibson. And behind them, we're going to have, with them sharing some time, will be the Eggleston boy and Wolford Clark. So, we feel pretty good with that defensive front.
Coach, you mentioned all of those names, and all those names invoke a great memory from last year, whether it's Akira McLean getting the sack or the big play in the backfield in the WPIAL championship game, or Art Tompkins with his touchdown against Upper St. Clair. All those guys that saw some time last year, that really builds into this year, doesn't it? Not just the returning starters, but those guys that saw a little bit of time.
Oh, yeah. I think whether they started or played some or on special teams, they have experience playing. And, we played 13 games last year, so that's a little bit extra experience. And just having that game experience, you can't get it anywhere else. You have to be on that field on Friday night. One guy we forgot to mention, tight end. We do use tight ends a lot, and Mike Smith started for us at tight end last year. He's coming back on offense at tight end, and he's more experienced. He's bigger and stronger and faster, and he's one of our senior leaders. And the other tight end we have is William Fletcher. He's a junior, big kid. It's really developing through camp, and I think he's going to get better as the season goes on.
Let's talk about the kicking game a little bit. You lost Jordan Potter, a huge leg, program record for the longest field goal. He also had a big field goal in the WPIAL playoffs against Gateway. Let's talk about Donald Cassidy coming back. He was a key to the control kicking game, but now the load really falls on his shoulders.
Yeah, Donnie was our main kicker for the first 5 games and did a nice job. And he continued kicking the extra points throughout the playoffs and at Heinz Field. So, he's a solid kicker and does a good job. He got stronger in the off season, kicking the ball further on kickoffs and field goal attempts. So we feel real confident with him as far as our kicking game, our place kicking game. And, he has that maturity. He's been there before and he's done it. So that's very important. On the punting end of it, we have a number of guys that could punt. Harry Randall was our punter last year, and Dante Bross was our punter last year. Art Tompkins also a pretty good punter, and Miles Sanders can punt too. So we got a number of guys that can punt, and that's an important part of our game, the special teams.
Interestingly enough, all 4 of those guys that you mentioned that can punt can also run, and we've seen you fake a punt or 2 over the years.
You never know.
Maybe even 2 in a WPIAL semifinal game.
In a row.
Yeah, in a row. Coach, let's talk about Upper St. Clair, a team you faced twice last year, week 1, just like this season, and then again in the WPIAL semifinals. They're a team that's right on your heels as far as the preseason rankings go.
Oh, yeah. Like I said before, Coach Render, he's the winningest coach in the WPIAL, and I think with the kids he has, he's one of the smartest coaches in the WPIAL as far as getting the most out of his kids. Very solid coach. He has good staff. His kids are well trained, well coached. They play well on offense and defense. They're hard to prepare for on both sides of the ball. They're a very solid defensive team. They out of the 15 guys who played defense for him last year, you see 9 or 10 of them are coming back this year to play. He has a senior-oriented team. His defense has all seniors. Out of his top 15 guys, we've seen rotation at the scrimmages. 2 of them are juniors, and the other 13 are all seniors. And 9 of them played last year, and then they have Rory Blair, who's got a 5th year, and he played as a sophomore outside linebacker at the WPIAL championship game, and he's 6'4", 2 1/4, and he accepted a scholarship to the University of Pittsburgh, and he'll be playing defensive end Friday night. So very tough defensive team, very well coached, very strong, good linebackers, good defensive line. They're strong. Like us, we got a lot of guys back on defense, and so do they.
You touched on the 5th-year senior Upper St. Clair has in Blair. Obviously, he's going to play defensive end, but he's also a threat at tight end as well.
Oh yeah, he plays tight end, and he can get up the field real fast. So, we got to be aware of where he's at, because he's one of the top athletes, and he can run. He's probably a 4'5", 4'6" kid in the 40. And, he can get upfield real fast on you with that height. They're going to throw him the ball. I think the biggest change in their offense will be a quarterback, where they had an outstanding quarterback the last couple of years running the football and throwing, where now they're back to their traditional passing attack, which is outstanding. But, they have 2 outside linebackers that are 6'3", 190, and that's their 2 quarterbacks that they use. And they're big kids, and they both can throw the ball very well. And the lead kid, his 2 brothers played Division I football. He's a safety and receiver for him. He's outstanding. I'd say he's one of their best athletes. He'll be their team leader. And they're a solid team, big team up front. The linemen are all 260, 270, 280. So, and they have some big running backs that played last year coming back. So they have a lot of guys on offense and defense coming back, as we do. So.
Let's take a look back at some of the Wolverines of days gone by. First of all, Rontez Miles, undrafted free agent, doing very well with the New York Jets as their preseason wraps up.
Yeah, I'm very proud of Rontez. In high school, he had a tough life. He knew football was his way out. Accepted a scholarship to University of California. Had a great career there. Free agent. Had a try with the Jets, and he's still there, and we're real proud of him. And his brother's our quarterback, Harry Randall. So, they're both very athletic and very talented young men.
Let's talk about Cal PA. You mentioned how Rontez Miles went there. 5 Wolverines on their roster heading into this fall.
Yeah, we're excited about Cal U, and a lot of our young guys who went down there, and they're doing very well at camp right now. They're young and they're in backup roles, but we're excited about them and about their future down there.
Another local school that's got a ton of Wolverines is the University of Pittsburgh. Mike Caprera, Juan Price, Lafayette Pitts, all figure to fit in very well into the Pitt defense. Plus Javante Pitts may be fitting in there as well at some point.
Yeah, he's scheduled to play special teams, and KK Mosley Smith's going to be redshirted this year, and he'll have a couple years left after this. And I'm proud of all of them. Mike Caprera was a great leader, and Lafayette Pitts was one of the hardest workers we ever had. And, he ran a 4.3 something after camp. And then this summer, at the end of the summer, he ran a 4.28. He's the fastest player down there. It's just phenomenal, and he's a big kid. And, if he keeps working hard, he'll have a bright future too.
Coach, speaking of bright futures, let's hope we have a very bright future here at the Wolverena and beyond this season. Thanks a lot for your time, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with more of the pregame show right after this on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
All right.
Fans, we thank you for joining us for the pregame show here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. If you can't make it to the Wolverena this Friday night, you can tune in for the live radio broadcast on our flagship radio station, AM-1550 WZUM, on our website at woodlandhillsfootballnetwork.com, with this stream courtesy of 1550WZUM.com, or on MSAsports.net. We'll also have live television coverage on Monroeville Comcast Cable Channel 13, Penn Hills Comcast Cable Channel 98, and Verizon FiOS Channel 37 will have live cable radio coverage, and we will have video replays on all of our television affiliates. For everybody at Woodland Hills Television, I'm Adam Gusky, and we'll see you next week. This has been a presentation of the Woodland Hills Football Network. Watch us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and as always, visit us at woodlandhillsfootballnetwork.com.